Happy New Year, everybody.
How's it going, Sarah?
Oh, it's so great. What a year we had and what a year to come.
Yeah, absolutely. We are now in 2026. And by the time you're listening to that, I am heading to my very first event. I am in New York. And it's usually a moment for me it's a moment to start the year strong, obviously. But by default, I'm not a winter person. So one thing that, I get that I might sound a little biased there, but since I started working at Ottawa Tourism, I've had the chance to experience winter through the lens of other people, especially people who come from places where winter activities and winter is not really a big part of the culture. And we're in the middle of it right now, and there's a lot of exciting things going on, including, like I mentioned, the fact that I'm starting my year. I'm in New York. I'm very looking forward to meet new journalists, new professionals in the travel media sphere, create these new opportunities for friendships and collaborations. And so far, last year, I'm in New York has been really good to us.
Mm-hmm. How many years have you been going now?
So now this is going to be my third one.
Third year, nice.
Third year.
So in January, you're going to be away. I'm going to be holding down the fort. And I actually have a fabulous writer coming who does a few freelance pieces for some large Canadian publications. And he's covering what to do in winter in Ottawa, the Canadian Culinary Championship, which we've been hosting for 4 years now, maybe 5. And no end in sight. So that's really exciting. And so I'll be doing IMMs as well. I'm doing IMM Paris and IMM in London, UK, but those are in March and they're back to back. So that's going to be a busy time for me too.
Absolutely. And speaking of busy time, it's going to be a busy year for the city of Ottawa in general, because we're celebrating our 200th birthday. Let me call it that real quick. Happy birthday, baby. So Ottawa is going to be celebrating a 200th anniversary in 2026. And, there's going to be events that will commemorate and celebrate that throughout the year. But we ask you to obviously pay attention to some of the news that are going to be coming from the capital. And this is obviously, if you want to start the year strong, if you want to plan out for an exciting year, you don't want to miss out on Ottawa turning 200 years old.
Absolutely. Coming to Ottawa, especially during our birthday anniversary, there's going to be so many things. We're waiting on the city to announce the official program. But the actual birthday is, what's the date exactly?
So it's going to be in May 2026. So Ottawa was founded in May 1826 by Lieutenant Colonel By around the construction of the Rideau Canal. As you know, it's UNESCO heritage, the Rideau Canal that turns into the famous Rideau Canal Skateway. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later. And the reason why the canal was being built is because it was a military route to protect British soldiers from American attacks, potentially.
It didn't happen, though.
It didn't happen.
No.
So instead, we ended up this beautiful cultural heritage that goes from Ottawa all the way to Kingston, and 7.8 kilometers of it that becomes a Rideau Canal Skateway in the winter. Now, Ottawa itself became, and like I said, it was first called Bytown,
right?
And it was for the lumber market,
right?
And eventually, the community around it grew, and eventually in 1855, it became known as Ottawa.
We should look into more lumber activation, see what's going on in the future with that, because that's where our heritage
absolutely
it starts after the settlers got here. And so that's something I think that maybe we should look into a little bit next year.
Absolutely. Ottawa, by the way, which is Algonquin Anishinaabe name for Ottawa, which means to trade.
Right.
And in 1855, it became known as Ottawa. In 1857, Queen Victoria decided that Ottawa was going to be appointed Ottawa as the capital of the Dominion of Canada. And it was a strategic decision because it was right in between the English and Francophone population. And it was kind of geographically located in a way that was away enough from potential invaders or attacks, so it would protect the sanctity of the Dominion as well.
Actually, I did a tour of Parliament Hill West Block yesterday, and I learned a little bit about this. And there were so many capital cities before Ottawa. It was Kingston, it was Toronto, it was Montreal. It bounced all over the place until we started having the monarch relationship, and Queen Victoria named us the spot.
The spot, absolutely. So again, there's going to be quite a lot for you to this is going to be the year to discover the story of Ottawa, our francophone, anglophone, and obviously indigenous heritage. You know what I mean, and how they all came together to create the city that we now celebrate. And a reminder again that it's that Ottawa is located on ceded Algonquin and Anishinaabe territory, and that this is also an opportunity for you to come learn the historical dynamic and the indigenous root of Ottawa as well. So quite a lot to discover. If you're a journalist who's into culture, history, rich heritage that comes from both oral and written storytelling, this is the time to come visit us.
Also, the architecture. It's so beautiful here. It's neo-Gothic. It's just, you can find gargoyles in our city. That's pretty cool for somewhere in North America anyway.
Shout out gargoyles.
Yeah. I used to collect them when I was a kid, actually. And that was actually prompted by a visit to Parliament Hill when I was young.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, shall we move on to the next story?
So story number 2, Sarah, if you will do us the honor.
So now it's time to talk about Winterlude 2026. It's the 48th edition, which is amazing. I remember going to it when I was little. Of course, I've spoken about that in the past. This year, it is running January 30th to February 16th across the Canadian capital region in both Ottawa and Gatineau. So in Jacques-Cartier Park, and then also in Confederation Park, as well as Zeeby Park, which is near the Canadian History Museum. And the celebration will feature the signature ice sculptures this year, which are not going to be on Spark Street. They're going to be in Confederation Park. Snow slides, of course, in Jacques-Cartier Park. Live music, which is part of Igloo Fest, which is an electronic dance music festival, or EDM, for those who enjoy that. And they're actually adding a kid-friendly night.
Good.
Yeah, because kids need to burn energy and get out there and dance. So that's great. So some, the outdoor activities, there's museum events. And then, of course, part of that is this year we're adding the Barbagazzi snowmobile event. And yeah, so it's essentially acrobatics. It's I haven't seen it in person. I've seen
but we will go.
We're absolutely going.
As a fan of motorsports myself, shout out to Laturnus for winning his first world title for the Formula One. You know what I'm talking about. But it's super exciting that something like that is coming to the city, and that and to see how the Byward market is going to be sort of like transformed to accommodate that kind of event, right?
And even Byward Market started early. There's a beautiful sound and light laser show down at the market that I saw recently as well. So Ottawa's getting so cool and even cooler.
In the winter, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so everything it's coming together, and we're really looking forward to it. And of course, the Rideau Canal Skateway activities, weather permitting. But as of the beginning of December was -20. So let's hope that it keeps it up for the rest of the winter season.
When the winter season is really one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite is because of how, hosting people from different parts of the world, you kind of get to see it from their perspective, especially when it's the first time. My very first assignment with Ottawa Tourism was a press trip from Japan, and some of them, it was their first time in Canada, and it's kind of cool to see them turning to kids, on the snow slides and all that kind of stuff.
I think we talked about this last year too, and it stuck with you.
Absolutely, and it's one of the reasons why we love hosting you. It's one of the reasons why we love doing what we do, and one of the reasons why we are so excited to welcome you to Ottawa for all the things that we're celebrating in 2026, from our 200th birthday party, or parties, should I say, and obviously Winterlude, and again, if you, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think you were getting into it. If you want to learn more, make sure you go out to our events calendar, check out ottawatourism.ca. Our blog posts have lots of cool ideas. There's some itinerary ideas on there as well.
Yeah.
And then, of course, follow us on all the socials. And
all the hockey, the Ottawa Senators and 67 games, I mean, if you want to look it up either on their website or on our event calendar, they're going to be listed there as well.
if you're in Ottawa in the winter, you got to go to a hockey game. That's the law.
You know that. Thank you very much for listening, everybody, and we wish you a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à notre dernière édition de Ottawa C'est comment. À leur épisode 10, la nouvelle édition de l'année en 2026. Nous vous parlons en fait de quelque chose à planifier pour l'année. En tout premier lieu, le fait que nous allons célébrer notre 200e anniversaire à Ottawa. Alors, notre 200e se passera aux alentours de mai, mais nous aurons de la programmation au travers de l'année également. Et également le Festival de Balles de Neige. Alors, c'est quelque chose qu'on a bien hâte à vous voir faire l'expérience et participer en fait des activités pour la famille, pour les couples, pour les célibataires, pour les gens qui veulent juste faire l'expérience des joies de l'hiver au travers de la capitale avec une programmation chargée incluant un show de motoneige acrobatique qui aura lieu dans le marché Bail. Alors, vous attend en 2026, c'est à ne pas manquer. Je vous dis bonne année et à bientôt.